My child, your existence can often feel like just a tiny speck in a vast universe of 7 billion people. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, what difference does it make what I say or do? This mindset can feel liberating. If nothing really matters, then you can act without the burden of responsibility. You can choose to live your life as if you're untethered by the expectations and demands of society. But the price you pay for this nihilistic view is steep. It leads to a disconnection from meaning, purpose, and ultimately self-respect. Now consider a different perspective. You are not merely an isolated speck. You are a node in an intricate network. Think about this. If you know just 1,000 people, and each of those individuals knows another 1,000, you're only a few connections away from touching 1,000,000 lives or even 1,000,000,000. You are at the center of this network, and every word you speak can ripple outward in ways you might not fully understand. This is not just theoretical. It's a real and powerful truth. In our culture, we often emphasize the importance of speech. The capacity to communicate isn't just a skill, it's a sacred power. Language has the potential to shape chaos into order and to challenge the pathological norms that sometimes dominate our society. Your voice carries weight. Don't underestimate the impact of your words. Speaking the truth is not always easy. It requires courage and faith. It means expressing what you believe, even if you're unsure, even if your perspective is colored by bias or ignorance. You have to be willing to voice your thoughts and live with the consequences. That takes guts, but here's the reality. Nothing transforms the world for the better more than the courageous articulation of truth. Yes, there is a cost of standing up for what you believe. But here's the kicker. You will pay a price for everything you do and everything you don't do. The choice is not whether to pay a price, it's which price you are willing to bear. If you choose to remain silent, you risk being a mere shadow of yourself, a serf to your fears and insecurities. Imagine living your life enslaved to the expectations of others, filled with resentment and self-loathing. That's a heavy price to pay, and it unfolds slowly, leaving you miserable and powerless. It's essential to speak your truth carefully. Pay attention to your words. They matter more than you might think. If you believe that truth is the cornerstone of a meaningful life, then stand up and articulate your beliefs. What you will find is that the act of speaking will shape you. You will face criticism, and people will label you a fool, biased, or ignorant. But listen closely to those criticisms. They can be valuable. They are opportunities for growth and refinement. Imagine dedicating 5 years to this practice. Over that time, you will become so resilient, so articulate, and so capable of withstanding pressure that you will hardly recognize yourself. You will evolve into a formidable force ready to engage with the world. A common refrain I hear from individuals, particularly those in academia, is, "I'll speak up when I achieve my goals." They think when I secure tenure, when I become an associate professor, or when I reach full professor status, then I'll have the freedom to express myself. But let's be real. If you're a professor, you're already one of the most protected individuals out there. The truth is, no amount of protection will make you feel safe enough to speak your mind. Understand this. It's not safe to speak, and it never will be. But here's the twist. It's even less safe not to speak. You are balancing risk. Are you willing to pay the price of authenticity, of being true to yourself, or will you choose the price to servitude to your fears? The consequences of silence can be far worse than any backlash you might face for speaking out. Every year you spend in silence adds to a burden of regret. You'll find yourself devoid of self-respect, stripped of power, and unable to express your opinions. The only thing left will be bitterness because you have allowed yourself to be silenced. Embrace the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Allow your words to reflect your beliefs. Truth has a way of redeeming the world from chaos. History has shown us that when we shy away from the truth, we allow hell to manifest in our lives. If you are willing to take that leap, commit to speaking the truth and see what unfolds. You might face challenges, controversy, and setbacks, but through it all, you will discover a sense of purpose and clarity. Know that you're not alone in this journey. Many people yearn for someone to articulate the thoughts they dare not voice. They are waiting for you to lead the way. Those who remain silent often do so out of fear. But if you take the initiative to express your thoughts, you will not only empower yourself but inspire others to do the same. The enemy is not as powerful as you might think. They are often a cloud of fear, courageous only in numbers. Stand your ground, articulate your beliefs clearly, and watch as those fears dissipate. Don't be afraid, but fear the consequences of silence. It's time to embrace the fullness of your existence. Speak your truth, because not speaking is the same as not being. In this moment of suffering, find your voice. By doing so, you create a life rich with meaning, respect, and fulfillment. To dive deeper into intriguing topics like this, click here to watch more and wake up.